Okay, being 6 o'clock, I'd like to welcome you all to the Yankton County Commission meeting on October 21st. Please join me in Pledge Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hoorah. Again, I'd like to thank you all for coming, and make sure that your cell phones are muted or turned off. Patty, please call the roll.
Dan,
Here.
Don,
Here.
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 John,
Here. Can I ask the commission for any financial conflicts of interest for tonight's meeting?
I have none.
I don't have any.
I have none.
I have none.
And I have none. I'd like to make a change to our agenda as far as at the end to add for executive session, not only poor relief, but also personnel issues.
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition.
Second.
Motion by Dan, second by Wanda to approve the agenda, amended agenda. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Now it's time for public comment. Public comment is a time for persons to address this body on any subject. No action may be taken on a matter raised under this item of the agenda until the matter itself has been specifically included on an agenda as an item upon which action will be taken. Each person has up to 3 minutes to speak. There shall be no personal attacks against the members of this body, county staff, individual, or organizations. The chair has the authority to enforce this policy. Failure to adhere to these rules may result in forfeiture of the remaining speaking time. Per county policy, the Yankton County Commissioners will not engage in conversation or make statements during public comment. Are there any public comments from any of the public? Seeing no one, public comment is closed. Shannon Affleck.
Turn your mic on. One on the far.
Far right buttons.
There
we go. Thank you. So I'm Shannon Jepson. I am the one who has been taking care of Yankton County and their AFLAC benefits for the last 8 years. I am here just because I think sometimes it's good for you guys to know what it is that we do for not only you guys, but for the employees here at Yankton County. So one of the things that I wanted to just kind of go through is we've actually been partnered together since 1986 is when we first started with our partnership. And one of the things that we do is not only provide the AFLAC benefits, but we also do the Section 125 cafeteria plan, which means that we're going to save you guys money by pre-taxing the health insurance benefits that you have and then any AFLAC benefits that are out there. In the last 3 years, we have paid out over $100,000 in claims, and that can be with accident claims, cancer claims, hospital claims, heart-related claims. And it has been really a pleasure of mine to get to know everybody on, a level where I get to see their families and see their spouses and be able to take care of them at the time of claim. But the real purpose for me being here is to get to the bottom dollar for you guys. So I'm going to pass some information out.
Thank you.
So when it comes to health insurance or just insurance in general, one of the biggest things that gets talked about is cost and being cost effective. And so I think it is, especially for you guys, it's good for you to see how the county's dollars are being used and how they're being saved. We know that we are all struggling to get good hired employees in not only Yankton County, but pretty much anybody in any type of profession. And so being able to provide not only benefits for them and for you guys are amazing in the fact that you help pay for the health insurance. I took the numbers, I worked with Kim and Patty's office to figure out, how much you guys are spending with the health insurance and some of those things. So as you can see, for Yankton County Auditor, just by pre-taxing the policies, the health insurance and the AFLAC, we are saving $51,746.54 for the employer. In turn, the other thing that is really nice is that we're also be able to provide some tax benefits to the employees. And so per year, as of this last enrollment that we just completed at the end of September or August was 148,813. So 98 employees that were here, 90 of those were seen by me personally. One of the things that I love is the employee education portion where I can be able to sit down and kind of help them, especially since sometimes they don't always know what they're signing up for with their health insurance. Then I can be able to kind of say, okay, well, what's your deductible? What's the gap? What can we do in order to try to help you in the event that something happens? So that employee education is really amazing. And the other thing that I think it's good for you guys to remember is that AFLAC does not charge to do any of the pre-taxing of your health insurance. So there are some companies who would do that, but we do not. One of the things that is really exciting that maybe in the future is something worth us talking about later on down the road is we have partnered with Employee Navigator, which is a platform. And the platform is that we can actually be able to sit down, go through with each one and go through their health insurance and then whatever supplemental insurance, their dental, their vision, everything that you have, and we can do it all in the computer. And the thing that's also really cool about that is that, all of the HR documents, so things like your new hire letters and, your handbook, that is all in one location so that Kim and Patty have the ability to just reach it right from their computer. So that's something that down the road, I would love to be able to talk a little bit more about. This is more of an informational meeting. I think the biggest thing that maybe I should probably pass on is an employee pain point. Has been, for the most part in the last couple of years, is just the inconsistency with health insurance. And, the thing that is so hard is that we're always looking to make sure that cost is it's affordable. And so one of the things that I love is the fact that AFLAC has been loyal and has been local to be able to help out the employees, and integrity is important. I do have a couple of contacts that I work with brokers. So I just want to kind of put the plug out there that if there is a time that you guys are looking again at health insurance benefits, I do work with some really amazing people, and they are local and they would be able to kind of help. I know that you guys have had, Julie out for the longest time. It's just been this year that it's been different, and things they didn't go as wonderfully as we wanted to at enrollment time. So just please use me as someone who's local and loyal and pays tax dollars to Yankton County if you need help with any of those things. So I'll open it up to you guys. In the sheet, do you guys have any questions for me?
Do you have a card, business card or something?
I do. I did not bring it in with me though. So I will get one to Patty. How about that?
Sounds good.
Yep. And if you guys have any further questions on more breakdown on what benefits we're offering, I would love to do that for you
One
guys.
question I have is the participation rate.
Yes.
How can we get that higher? I mean, do you know, what are the reasons that more of the employees aren't participating?
The hardest part is getting everyone to come and sit down and talk to you. That's the hardest part. And if you think about it, during open enrollment time, that's in August. So where most people doing, they're going on their vacations with their families before school starts and things like that. I know that there's at least 2 people in this building that have a consistent vacation that it always happens to be during open enrollment time. So I do think that the employee navigator portion of platform would help considerably, because then I could be able to sit down with those employees and Kim and be able to get everybody's information all in one. That's a very good question. I think that's the hardest part, is trying to corral everybody. Any other questions? So my whole goal here is to give you a little good news, commissioners, because you don't get that all that often, do you? So there you go, a little from us.
Thank you.
Someone asked me today how the meeting was gonna go tonight, and I thought, looking at the agenda, I thought after the last few that we've gone through the last 3 months, it's probably gonna hopefully be very smooth. So, I think our gentleman from RISD is here, so we can move on to our next item on the agenda, county health insurance renewal.
Good evening, Dan Johnson, RISD Benefits. I have to agree what she said about a couple of things. It's that one of the hardest things is getting the employees together. That is, no matter where you're at. If you're in Yankton County, you're in Pennington County, wherever you're at, if you're in Sioux Falls at a business, it's hard to get every single employee, but we try. And that's one of the things that we do is the education. And we want the employee to be educated about their benefits that they have. That's the biggest thing. Employees don't understand what they have. So, again, Dan Johnson, RISD Benefits, we took over as your agent a year ago, be coming up a year ago in December, we were down here. And last year was kind of rushed. With Medica pulling out, you guys were scrambling. We were scrambling. We got the employee meetings in December, which is usually not the way we work. We like to do them in early November, so we can get everything done and situated. So it was kind of painful last year. It was painful for a little bit, but it all worked out. So let's get right to the brass tacks here about your medical. Currently, you have 2 health plans with Avera Health. You have the 8,000 copay and 8,300 high deductible health plan. With that, we're offering 3 plans to the employees off those 2 from Avera. Currently, 86 employees enrolled on the health plan here in Yankton County. So rate for 2026. The average rates that we're seeing across the state right now with all the other carriers, medical carriers, is 8.5% to 9% overall, combined with 200 customers in medical that we have. I remember last year, Vera gave you a rate cap of 8%. I asked for that again, got denied. And I asked for that again and got denied the second time. So on your 8,000 copay single, you are taking a 7.25% increase. Single rate from $764 goes up to $819, which is basically $55. There's 47 employees on that plan. An 8,000 copay family is going up 4.5%. You have enrolled with that. The 8,300 high deductible, the one that we're MERPing all of them, the 4,500, that's going up 7.44%. That's basically up $50.73. You have 32 enrolled singles on that. And on your high deductible 83 to 45 and the 65 family, 7.44, going up 122, you have 5 enrolled on that. So with that MERP, the medical expense reimbursement plan that some of you probably don't know that what we're talking about. If you go to the next page, go to A, there's your expense report up to today on the MERP. what we talked about. You can go through on that plan. This is the first one, A, it's a copay plan. That's a 5,500. 43 employees have used that plan. And number of dependents, 1. Amount paid from that MERP was 6,200. We're 10 months in, 83. Savings to date on that plan is $20,240. That's just on the copay plan. Go to B. Next page, please. That is the 45 and the 65 deductible, high deductible health plan. You've had 28 claims processed in the 10 months. Number of spouses, 2. Amount paid from the MERP for the employee, 17,742. Okay, your savings there, it's 22,800 so far in the 10 months. Combined, go to the next page, 3. C, that's your total. 86 employees in the plan as of October 1st. You had 71 claims. Amount paid for MERP employees, 23. The amount we put away is 67. So as of right now, today, savings combined are sitting at $43,081.34 for the medical expense plan. The MERP is working. You're saving money. That's what we have this concept in numerous all over across the state, and it works, and it's working for Yankton County. So, okay, next page a little bit there is the info kind of. I took the copay and put the side by side. So the first 2 columns is is if you were going to buy that from Avera, what you were going to pay. And the next column, the 8,000, that's the purchase point. You can see the difference there, 45 to 42. So $38,000, almost $39,000 in savings right there. You come down, funds available for claims, 32, 20%, which is roughly our average. The worst we've seen is like 24, 25% utilization in over the years. So right now you're sitting at 43 on that plan. Right now you're sitting at 20. You're about 15% utilization. You're ahead of the game. So the next 2 months, knock on wood, you're going to be still sitting pretty good at the end of the year. It's going to take something major to happen to lose that money that you're saving there right now. But for the plan for next year, we're looking at a 15% utilization, $20,587. So, then you go to the next one. That's your 3 plans. We broke it out to 55, the 45, and the 6,000 combined down there. 47 and 2 on there, 32 and 3, and then 2 families. There's no singles on the high deductible other plan. So you got basically there comes out to about $74.7 a month be your premium. And you combine your annual premium, and then you have your total there at the bottom, projected. Questions on the medical? And you have the Avera health plan value add.
What's our monthly premium this year versus 25 versus 26?
Roughly the October one, or September was like 68, 69. It varies from month to month with your employees leaving. You know, it varies, but I would say that's the average, right about there, 68, 69. And I haven't seen all your, I've got probably asked for like 3 of them, and I've got, so I got the September one that was due in October to get our figures that match up with everything. So and the next page is Avera health plans value adds. You have that there. That hasn't changed a bit there. So questions on your medical? Nobody likes to talk about it, but we have to have it. Next is your ancillary products. With us, you have Delta Dental and Reliance Standard. Okay, Delta Dental took a 5% increase. Reliance Standard took a 9%. If you go to the next page, there's a breakdown there of the current side by side of the plans.
That sounds familiar.
At least I got the date right.
Yeah.
That would be a Ryan thing.
IT.
Heard your voice, and I'm like.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Appreciate that. Thank you. So there you have your dental plans. You have your two current, again, Reliance Standard took a 9%. So your single is 4112. Your family is 128. Delta Dental, that went up about 5%. 53, your family is 151. Employees have a choice of what dental they want. Questions on the dental? On your vision, you currently have Reliance, which is VSP. You have a 10/10 copay. Delta Dental now in August came out with Delta Vision. If you've heard about it or not, Delta Dental decided they want to get into the eyeglass business, which is great. So they call it Delta Vision. The network that they use is IMED, not VSP. IMED is meant towards more wholesale companies, Walmart, Costco, you name it, which is great. You can notice that it is less expensive. Your benefits are less. So just wanted to show you guys that.
What
Show
would the savings be for that?
Pardon?
What would the saving be if we switched to that as opposed to?
Well, you have to look at it. You're taking away from the employees if you did. If you went to Delta Vision, you're gonna go from 180 down to 150 for frames and contacts. You're gonna make them pay, now they have a $10 exam, they're gonna have a $10 exam there, but they're gonna pay a 25 copay for frames, but also they have a copay for single, trifocal, bifocal lenses. With VSP, it's 100%. So I just want to show you that for information so that we do our due diligence to look out there, is that the employees are going to pay more out of their HIP national, excuse my terminology, and get for a lower price. They're going to be worse off. They're going to pay a little bit less premium, but they're going to pay more when they go to the eye doctor. So I just want to bring that to your guys' attention. So somebody asked about that. Your basic, your life insurance and your voluntary life, that all stays the same. Nothing changes there. You're locked in for there. So questions?
I don't have any questions either, and I just want public or whoever to know that Risty came in 2 years ago for the first time, quoted us. They did, which never happened in the past, with Avera, came in and guaranteed no more than an 8% rate increase, where in the past we've had health insurance companies come in with a lower rate, and then the following year increase 20-30%. So we felt that a year ago that we felt that this was a fairly decent program and a plan, with Avera being local also, and getting the guaranteed rate of not increasing more than 8%. And I think it looks to me like we're at about a 7.25.
Well, you look at the average. Most of, I'm gonna use Wellmark. They went to the insurance commission this year and asked for a 4.5% increase. Okay. So that's gonna be standard. And then you take your age and everything on top of that. So when you guys look at a 7.25% across the state, the average a little bit higher, that's pretty good. We're not getting any younger. Sad to say, we get older, it costs more. I'll be the first one to admit, when I can't wait, when I turn 65 here shortly, to get on Medicare. Be a lot less out of my pocket. So
How many counties do you guys work?
we work with 40, picked up a couple more this year, but 46 of the 66 counties that we work with,
Yeah.
some form or another. Our biggest customer is the state of South Dakota,
Yeah.
and plus numerous businesses from Hot Springs to Lemon to Faith. I was just in Faith yesterday, Elk Point, Sisseton, far in between. So
So you know counties because you work
I kn-
with the majority of them in the states.
my third county commission today. So Tuesdays in November and October are busy. So, and actually the other guys they're out west of the commission meet today. So, but that's what we're here for. Our job as a broker is to try to find you the best option for the money, what fits your budget, what you want. We listen, we put on employee meetings, we do the benefit book. And she kind of broke my thunder, the navigator. You're gonna bring that up. That's kind of our plan, is to get that done this year with you guys. The employees love it and our other customers. They can go in and open enrollment. You don't have to come in. If they want to come in, we come still do the meetings. They go home, they get 2 weeks, 3 weeks, get on the computer, log in, click on everything. There it is, black and white, it's printed off. And they can make a copy of it. It's all right there. They can tell exactly what they have. They have their husband or their wife right there to figure everything out with them. So,
Question for you, Dan. How does Yankton County's employee insurance benefits compare to the other counties? Are we same? Are we less generous? Are we more generous? Is it about average, or like what would you?
I would say you're about average.
Okay, so we're
Which-
competitive.
A lot of the counties that we have also do the MERP.
Okay.
And, some are now, or you guys have the 2 high deductible plans. Some of the counties only have 1. And so, some of you guys have the HSA, some of them don't. That's another thing this year is getting to be very popular is HSA. You guys are already doing that. Great. You should. Wish I'd have been doing that 20 years ago. But, you're average. You have, you guys are right there. You're pretty right there in the ballpark. Questions? Come on.
I don't have any questions, but I just want to also point out that we're, as counties, and all 66 counties are pretty much capped at a 3% growth or 3% increase in expenses and growth. And now just with employee health benefits, we're capped with a 7.25% increase in the expenses. So it's very, I don't want to, how do I want to say this, is very tough for the 5 of us to sit up here and prepare a budget when we're capped at 3% increase, and we're looking at a 7.25% increase right now just on health insurance. So just want everybody to know that those are the kind of things that we're faced with. So not that we're not going to survive, and not that we're not going to figure out a way to work around it, but that's why we get paid the small bucks, I guess.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, bringing that to our attention, Dan.
Thank you.
He did. He must have had a heart attack though. I'm not gonna touch it.
Yeah, double tap it.
Yeah. Troy, our third quarter ambulance report.
All right, good evening, everyone. The third quarter ambulance report should have been included in your packets. Let's take a quick look at some of the numbers that were on there for you. In the first category there, the patient care records per quarter. In the third quarter, we ran 653, well, we had 653 patient care records in the third quarter, which was up quite a bit. Actually, September was our busiest month since we've had so far this year. And so if you move over underneath in the total there in the year-to-date column, 1,805 patient care reports so far for this year. And if we keep on track with that for the rest of the year, we'll hit 2,400 calls at the end of the year for the first time.
New record?
New record, but we also typically get a little bit of a slowdown in the fall and early winter. So I would guess we're probably still going to be somewhere between 23 and 2,400 by the time we finish out the year. First crew calls making up about 79% of the calls that we respond to. Underneath that, you see it's a breakdown of the transports and the no transports. 69% of the calls that we respond to are transports. The other 31%, we don't transport a patient. And right under that, the no transport calls by type, broken down for you a little bit with, of course, the patient refusals being the biggest category there at about 30%. Then took a look at the calls by the response area within the city of Yankton. The city limits of Yankton, just about 86% of those calls occurring there. And then in the lake area, another 5%. So, you know, between the city of Yankton and the lake area, we're running about 91% of our calls there.
Sure, I got a question for you on the unassigned. Why are there so many unassigned in the third quarter?
So in pulling these numbers together, I use the numbers from our patient care report software to get the numbers. And then in seeing where they're assigned, our patient care report software isn't capable of doing that. So I move over to the software that gathers the information that's on that map that's on the back page. And for some reason, in the third quarter, they didn't quite match up for some reason. I haven't quite figured out why. So there were 34 calls that were really unaccounted for in the data software that were in the PCR software. So I just put those as unassigned. Those calls were there, but I don't know exactly where they were placed at. And that's why those calls are there. So I've got to try to figure out why those numbers didn't match.
Okay. Another question for you for the calls in Nebraska. Are we seeing any trends? Is it a particular call? Is a community? Is it across the bridge? I just wondered, do we know exactly what are they mutual aid calls? What?
Typically the calls in Nebraska are just within a mile or two across the river here. I believe the one that we saw in this quarter was actually, that was just on the other side of the bridge down here on the walk bridge.
Have we discussed with, what was it, Cedar County? What's the county just south? Is that?
Cedar County
Yeah.
just south of it.
Have we discussed with them on, you know, some type of agreement with, I think we need to be helping our neighbors, but our financial system with the ambulance, you know, in my mind, it doesn't make sense that we're going to another state and providing a service when this is property taxed based. I mean, I'm from Utica and there was as many calls in Nebraska as Utica, and, you know, the residents in Utica pay property tax, which funds the ambulance. The residents in Nebraska, which we are serving, don't pay property tax. And maybe that's something we need to have that conversation with Cedar County and say, hey, you know, we're willing to help you, but it shouldn't be at the detriment of the residents of Yankton County who pay for this ambulance with property tax. And I'd be willing to go with you or be a part of that call, and maybe they don't even realize it. But I'd like to address that at some point.
There are tax districts immediately when you get across the river.
Yeah.
The Crofton Rescue Squad has a tax district that comes all the way up to the river on the west side of 81. And they just redrew the district, so now it's 4 days that comes up on the east side of Highway 81, just across the river from us. And then as you go a little farther east, and it's the St. Helena district. So yes, they do collect taxes for that. We have had discussions with them about running calls in that area, understanding that it's their area. The biggest thing that we look at is the best outcome for the patient. And if we have a serious or critical patient that's a half a mile across the bridge and there's an ambulance sitting here a half a mile away, that would be the best response for them, as opposed to waiting 15 or 20 minutes for an ambulance from Crofton to get there. So that's the kind of thing that we kind of take a look at there. And it also depends on where the call comes from. Sometimes the 911 call will come into Yankton, and so they'll send the Yankton ambulance. Sometimes somebody can call 911 from right across the river and it'll go to Crofton and they'll take care of the call without ever notifying us. It just kind of depends on what it is. So yeah, there was only that one call in on the Nebraska side in this quarter, and we do get some requests for when their ambulance is transported into the hospital for a paramedic assist, paramedic intercept. Just a few of those that are occurring because they do have paramedics in their smaller towns down there now too, but they do get charged for that. We do bill the ambulance service for those intercepts. So if you look on the next page there, the patients transferred out of Avera Sacred Heart Hospital in the third quarter. We transferred 51 patients out of Avera Sacred Heart Hospital to other destinations, bringing the total to 175 so far. In the third quarter, we sent 514 payment claims to our Waystar clearinghouse, which checks them over, make sure all the information is accurate before they're sent out for billing. And our expenses for the third quarter, just over $349,000 in expenses, $287,300 in revenue for the third quarter, which was up from second quarter. And so that gap was a little bit narrower in the difference of $62,000. And we're catching up a little bit, as you can see on the spent budget. In the first quarter, we were just a little bit over that 25%. We caught up in the second quarter with just under 50% and opening that gap up a little bit more, about 73.3% for our spent budget so far. That puts our cost per county resident for the ambulance service for the third quarter at $2.64 per resident. And if you go over to the year-to-date column, if you add up the 3 quarters, that comes up to a cost of $10.31 per resident so far this year. And then I just included that heat map on there for you to see where the calls are. And again, anything in green, all the circles in green are within any city limits. And you can see the vast majority of them concentrated right over the Yankton city limits there. Again, just a reminder that the larger circles indicate areas that we've been to multiple times, such as you see the airport on there and the hospital. And some of the areas out of the camp showing some of those larger circles. That just means that we were there more than once. Any questions about the numbers?
Just one. So with the expenses versus billed revenue, we're looking at 62,000 for the third quarter.
Yes.
Is that pretty much standard for the first 1 and 2 quarters?
If you look over there, the first quarter, the difference was $114,000. And then we brought that way down to $66,000 for a difference in the second quarter and 62 in the third. So right now, if you go to that year-to-date column over there in the revenue versus expenses, we've spent just over $1 million of our budget so far. Revenue so far has been $829,378. And so we're about $242,000 for a difference so far this year. Last year, I believe we were at about $285,000 for a difference at year's end. It just kind of depends on what happens in the fourth quarter. One of the things that's going to help us a little bit, and one of the notes that I have here to tell you, is that the ambulance rate increase that we talked about a month ago, that will go into effect on November 1st. There were some contracts that we had to get changed with some of the flight services that we have, and there were some other notifications we had to send out. That's all been taken care of, and so we will begin our rate increase on November 1st, and that should help with revenue.
Trending in the right direction.
We are trending in the right
Pretty
direction.
hard work on that.
Absolutely.
You provide a statement.
I have not, but this information, I post our quarterly reports on the ambulance website, so it's available to the public, anybody who wants to look at it. And this will be posted as well as soon as I get the opportunity to put it on there. I've already got the second quarter report on there, but third quarter report will go on when I get a chance here.
As far as the clearinghouse,
Yes.
do we have a percentage of the claims that are approved, or I know you've had that in past reports, or it seems like they keep getting better the first time approval rates, and there are always corrections you have to do with the medical. I understand that, but you're happy and it's going in the right direction for the claims that we submit that are getting approved for payment.
Yeah, and it depends on what picture you look at, you know, how much of a window. In the last 2 weeks, I noticed, or as I was preparing this report, the previous 2 weeks to that, we were 100% with
Great.
claims after Waystar.
Great.
100% of them were cleared after Waystar. And over that third quarter period, that range was running anywhere between usually 96 to 100%.
And so you're happy with the claims process that we're using now? I know a couple years ago with the other company, they weren't doing probably what they should have.
Right, no,
You're
this
happy with how that's working now?
Yes, this company has
Good.
done a really good job for us in that respect. Yep.
Glad to hear.
Any other questions on the numbers? If not, the only other thing that I had was that the Stryker company was here at our facility in September. They were here for 2 days. Stryker is one that manufactures the AEDs and the life packs that we use. And as you recall, early in the summer, we set up the other preventive maintenance program to cover all of the AEDs. When he was here, he went through approximately 30 devices, AEDs, life packs, and the Lucas compression devices. And the total of the work orders when he was here came up to a total of $18,224 for the work orders for him to go through all those, to replace the things that needed to be replaced, to fix them, fix the ones that needed to be fixed. The total of the two contracts that we have for all of those AEDs and life packs is $11,313. So that for us was a savings of $6,900 that we wouldn't have paid if we would have paid if we weren't on that preventive maintenance program. So that just a little piece of information for you there, that those preventive maintenance contracts really do save us quite a bit of money. And that is all that I have for tonight.
One thing I just seen where I think the state medical board or federal board released like $35 million for ambulance services to assist with grants. And I asked the question, who was writing the grant proposal for the state of South Dakota to make sure that we got all those federal monies, and how that was going to be distributed. I haven't gotten an answer yet. Do you know anything about that program?
We received an email, and I believe, are you talking about the money that's coming from the big beautiful bill? Is that?
Yes.
So the last numbers that I got was that there was $50 billion set aside in that federal bill. South Dakota expects to get $100 million per year for the fiscal years of 26 through 30. For 5 years, $100 million per year. It is set aside for rural health development. They have asked us to throw in our ideas from EMS as far as what that money could be used for. So they're still kind of putting it together at this point, trying to get ideas on where to spend it. Keep in mind that the way that it's worded as rural health development means that the hospitals will also get their hands in on it as well. So that's going to be a tough fight to see who gets what out of hospitals and EMS and clinics and whoever falls under rural health development. But we're hoping that we'll get a pretty good chunk of that money, and especially over 5 years. At the end of 5 years, it's done, but it could really do us a lot of good. There are other opportunities out there. You remember Sharon, who was here the night that the Mitchell Fire Chief was here and started talking about some of that stuff. She sent out a list of companies that are providing grants to EMS and emergency agencies. I am currently signing up for a grant to get our Lucas devices, the chest compression devices when we're doing CPR. We have 3 of them right now. When Stryker was here and did the checks on them in September, he informed me that they are no longer servicing the ones that we have. So those were serviced for the very last time. They're still working at this point, but if they malfunction, we may not be able to replace them. So of course you have to go up to the next model, and they run about $19,000 a piece. And we have 3 right now. Reality is that we should have 4. We should have 1 in each ambulance. We have applied for a grant right now. Sharon from Vermillion is helping me with that grant. And we are hoping that we will actually we have put in for a $75,000 grant to get 4 of those Lucas devices. And we won't know probably till about the end of the year whether we get it or not.
Good. Thanks, Troy.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Move approval of the quarterly report.
Got a motion by Dan, second by Don to approve the ambulance quarterly report. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Motion
To
to-
go into ditch.
Motion to go into ditch board.
Second.
Got a motion by Dan, second by Ryan to move into the ditch board mission. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are now in ditch board.
Rick.
Hi, Rick.
Okay.
Well, Yeah, I guess we've got on my property, on the ditch has got one caved in, the culvert caved in.
They're all the same.
I'm assuming it's original cave, it's been there since, I've lived there for 40, I mean, we farmed it for 40 some years and it was there when we got there. So I don't know, I assume they put it in, cause it pulls it off the slough where it goes into the ditch is what it's supposed to be, what it's supposed to do, I guess, but there's some pictures I give Patty on that formula, of the holes, how big the hole is. Yeah.
How big of a culvert is that, Rick?
Well,
2
you
foot?
know, it's a good question. What he's putting in was a 14 gauge, but it's a 2 foot, I believe, but I don't know, it's under the ground. It's
60 foot long?
yeah,
about it?
60, what we've measured out. It'd take a 60 foot to get across there. Cause it goes down in a slope of the slough that goes through there. I mean, that's only, obviously the ditch wasn't put in for my dirt necessarily. All the water comes up from the north.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just assume it rusted out. I imagine that it is what it is,
Yeah.
but I guess I was told this is how you did it. So here I am.
Nothing lasts forever.
Yeah, well, I assume they put that in when it was originally put in and just, like I say, we farmed the ground. I've lived there for 30 some years and we farmed it for probably 45 years. So
Mhm.
it's been, nothing touched it since then. So, so I guess I didn't know this is what I have as a bid from Jay and it's nowadays it's hard to get anybody to even do anything, but he said he'd get it in yet this year, but we don't utilize that driveway now because you can't get in there.
I did talk to our highway superintendent, Mike Sedlacek, and he said that they would have time to do it as well. If you had any interest in that, the bid would probably be close to the same. He didn't have these numbers as well, but maybe that'd be an option too, but this seems like a pretty fair bid.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to get her done before spring again and see how we go. We just got cones around it now, so nobody drives in a driveway.
Patty, how much money do we have in that account?
I don't know, but there's plenty of.
There's
I don't
plenty.
know the exact number.
Yeah, you're the man on that.
There's a fair amount in there yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the culvert actually compressed or
It's
flattened
a
out?
great big hole right there. That one spot maybe it's a splice. I don't know how they made them back in the good old, they used to use concrete, but it ain't concrete, it's steel. But a lot of them old ditches, they had concrete culverts, but this is steel. But it's just one hole. It just is like a sinkhole, but it's a culvert. You can stick a thing down and hit the culvert, but it's big enough to lose a pickup in. Cause we already did that once. So we got that proven. But, yeah, it's not really sunk or sank, just that one hole. I suppose it just rusted out. I don't know if they're supposed
I
to.
wonder if Mike could look at that to do a liner.
It's not that good. I'm sure it's filled in.
Sometimes those fiberglass ones are good, but they're more expensive and they like
Yeah,
them under the paved road, but I'm fine approving this, but if you want to talk to Mike and have him run out there, if he could do it for less.
Yeah,
I would be
whatever
fine
works.
with
I just know
that too.
I wouldn't worry about lining it because I'm sure it's filled in.
It's just a thought.
After this long,
That's a good idea.
after 50 some years, I'm
Maybe
sure.
10 years
it's
ago,
filled
we
in.
should have lined it.
Yeah, it could have been good a while back, but I bet you could go find some other ones that are just as bad if you're looking for a job.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess that was what I was looking for, to see if we get
Approve
that
this
fixed.
bid. So I'd move approval of this bid for the replacement and then also allow our highway superintendent, Mike Solodchek, to look at it as well if he wants to do it. And that this funding coming out is the Yankton.
Then why would we,
Clay ditch. Yankton Clay ditch. So
then why would we approve this bid if we're not going
Well-
to necessarily have these people do it?
I talked.
Why don't
to-
we approve that the work be done for no more than this amount?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I second that, Wanda.
Is that a motion, Wanda?
Sure.
So I have a motion by Wanda, second by Dan to approve the repair of or replacement of the culvert to spend no more than $5,300 to replace and remove that culvert.
It was coming out of the Yankton Clay ditch fund.
A motion by Wanda, second by Dan. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
All right,
Thank you, Rick.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Rick.
Yep.
I move we go back into regular session.
There.
Motion by Wanda, second by Don to go back into regular session. All in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Good evening. I have 3 plats tonight. All these parcels are all adjacent to each other. First one's plat of tracks 1, 2, and 3 of Froreich's addition, being a replat of the south 23 acres of the north half of the southwest quarter, south half of the southwest quarter, and the southeast of section 19. Also a portion of government lots 6 and 7 being in section 20. Township 95 North, Range 55 West of the 5th Principal Meridian, Yankton County, South Dakota.
Second.
Motion by Wanda, second by Ryan. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Second one's a plat of track 4 of Froreich's addition, being a replat of the portion of government lots 6 and 7 and that portion of government lot 8 that lies south of the quarter line in section 20, township 95 north, range 55 west of the 5th Principal Meridian, Yankton County, South Dakota.
Second.
Motion by Wanda, second by Ryan. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Last one's a plat of Sinclair addition, being a replat of a portion of tract 11A in tract 2, or tract 2A in tract 2, and a portion of southeast quarter, all in section 19, and tract 2B of tract 2, and a portion of the southwest quarter, all in section 20, township 95 north, range 55 west of the 5th Principal Meridian, Yankton County, South Dakota.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion by Dan, second by Wanda to approve the Sinclair addition. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Preston.
All right, good evening. I'm just here for my third quarter sheriffs and jail reports. Just looking at some of the numbers, I did have Lene in my office pull some numbers from our 2023, my first year when I took office, and kind of where we're at today, just to kind of give you guys a little perspective. So for our U.S. Marshal holds in 2025, this is as of September, we've grossed $1,079,715. And then when I first took over the office, we ended for the U.S. Marshal Services. It was $837,065. So you can see that when I took office, I renegotiated our Marshal contract to get more revenue. The contract that we're going to have is probably going to be renewed again, so I'll be working probably in the next year or so to renegotiate that as well. So I just wanted to point that out from when I first took office to where we're at. So we still got 3 more months yet. Also, I think I wanted to point out transports. In 2023, at the end of the year, my first term, for transports, we grossed $44,877 for our transport service. I wanted to bluster that up with our transport van services that you guys approved to purchase. Clay County obviously is going to have a bigger jail and they're going to need to fill some spaces. I'm trying to work with the U.S. Marshal Service to have our transport guys swing by there because I'm sure they're going to have the U.S. Marshals being housed there as well. So as of today, in September of this year, we were at $82,046.80. So you can see we about doubled that and we still have 3 more months to go. So those are just some things I wanted to point out to you guys so you guys can see what we're doing at the sheriff's office from when I first took over and kind of go from there. But otherwise, inmate call services, I mean, in the month of September, you know, we switched to NCIC and we pretty much double what we were making with our previous provider. So if you guys have any questions, more than happy to answer them. But I just wanted to point out from when I first took over and after the negotiations with the U.S. Marshal Services, where we're at today.
How many?
Looking at the claims and the amount of medications or pharmacy that's going through the jail, are those Marshall holds or those Yankton County holds?
So the U.S.
If you know,
Yeah, so U.S. Marshals, they pay for their own people.
so they're all ours.
Yeah, so they're ours. Yeah. So
How many prisoners are we having from, you know, people who are sentenced and awaiting to go to prison? Is that number, are you seeing a number increase on that, or is it pretty stable?
They don't wait very long
They don't
before they go.
sometime, yeah, it just depends. I know the females, they've had a really tough time to get the females out. But when you go to prison and you're only there on a 3-year sentence for a 15-year time that you're supposed to be there,
Yeah.
you know, the turnaround's very quick.
What's the problem with hauling people to pier?
What's that?
What is the problem with hauling the women to pier?
Just the space. I know they just built a new female
Oh.
prison in Rapid City. And so, that's hopefully gonna help alleviate, but the pier one's pretty well packed. And I know that, the Hughes County Sheriff, he's worked out a deal where he houses DOC inmates for a much higher rate than what we would normally get for them, because his jail's right on top of the hill of the female prison. So he's got the bed. I think they got a 170 bed jail. So they built theirs way bigger than what was needed in Hughes County, but they also reap the benefit of having that many inmates.
Move approval of the report.
I'd like to,
Oh, sorry.
I'd like to ask you, if you could give us just a little combination of your team's attitude and morale.
Your microphone's not on, Don.
Oh,
There you go.
Attitude and morale, thinking about this ICE stuff that's going on all over the United States, the dangerous job that they've got. How's that? How are they doing?
well, I think recruiting is been kind of tough, you know, last 5 or 7 years for law enforcement. A lot of people don't want to just sign up for the nights, weekends, and holidays and on call. So I know that with ICE, they're actually recruiting people. They're getting like $50,000 sign-in bonuses. So if you guys are willing to pony up that, I think we'll have a lot of people sign up. But and that's like when last time I was here, Turner County, they are also short people and they're doing hiring bonuses now too. A lot of counties are doing the hiring bonuses. We're fortunate enough where we don't have to do that. Are we running a little bit short in some spots? Yeah. But I think, you know, we'll just keep working on trying to fill those roles. We just had a couple deputies leave, and I want to talk about that. One is going to go to Bonham County. They're doing that halftime deputy and EM position there. So one of our new recruits left that was already certified. You know, we had one officer went to become the Scotland chief of police. We had one leave to be the Viborg chief of police a while back. We had another one leave for the highway patrol. Obviously, the highway patrol is paying a little bit more. So at least when people are leaving, it's they're continuing their law enforcement career. So I don't feel like we're losing people because they're maybe burned out or not. But so I think morale's fine. It's just that it's going to be a tough couple of years, I think, with the budget stuff. But we will prevail and we'll figure it out. Plus, we had a sweet employee appreciation dinner, so I mean, why not?
I'll second Wanda's motion to approve the report.
Got a motion by Wanda, second by Dan to approve the quarterly sheriff's report.
And can I real quick, I wanted to point out our Facebook page. We're trying to let the public know how transparent we are and how many inmates we are bringing in. Yeah, you can check our website and see how many are incarcerated, but we just like to throw out some specific facts so people know. A lot of people thought we maybe had like a 15-bed jail here, but so we wanted to provide some more facts for the public to see. We got a lot of comments too, and
I
yeah.
didn't read any of the comments, but I did see the post today about the numbers.
So I think you're smarter for not having to read some of them, but.
Okay. Motion by Wanda, second by Dan to approve the quarterly report from Preston. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Preston.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, resolution, Operation Green Light.
I guess, Mr. Chair, I'll take this. Yeah, this is something we've done annually for the last few years. Just a way of us to show appreciation for our veterans and all those people who are leaving military service. We got respect for them, but we also need to realize, it is a big change going from reveille every morning to a civilian life. And Don and I know that firsthand as well as you. So it's a big shock to us. And it can be a lot of stress for those members. We are gonna put up a banner and put on some green lights outside the building. And Gary, did we say we wanted to go from the 4th to the 14th or so? For the 11th. Yeah. Yeah, we'll probably keep it up to the 11th, but yeah, the resolution here
Says the 11th.
I'm not gonna read it, but supporting, and I know we all do support our veterans and our transitioning active duty military. So
I move to approve Operation Green Light for veterans.
Second.
Got a motion by Wanda, second by Don to approve the resolution for Operation Green Light. Any further discussion? I did see on Facebook kind of a rendition of what this building looks like with the green light,
Yeah,
probably a
yeah.
picture from years in the past, and
Yeah.
looks very, very heartening to see it look like that.
And I'll work with Gary and Justin and Rob, and maybe we'll do something. We could say a few words and flip the switch at the memorial, and when we turn it on, and invite the P&D or something there too. But we'll
Sure.
try to do it right. So thank you guys for your support.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
I'd move to approve the October 7, 2025 minutes.
Motion by Wanda, second by Dan
Second.
to approve the October 7, 2025 minutes. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Claims.
I saw juvenile detention was about the lowest I've ever seen it at only 8,000 per. I mean, we've seen it
50.
I think we've seen it 80 before for 1 month. So that's surprising. Any idea what has changed? Do we know, Preston or Tyler, what?
Better
Wanda?
parenting.
Wanda, your plan, it took a couple years, but good work. So,
Kicked in
It's
finally.
about time.
yeah, so.
Move approval of the claims.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Wanda to approve the claims. Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And now's the time for our public comment. Anybody want to jump up and come to the microphone and speak? Seeing none. Public comment is closed. Commissioner updates. Any commissioner updates?
Yeah, I guess I got one, our district meeting, December 4th, in Lenox, 11 a.m. registration, lunch to follow. All of the district
county.
representatives from the 8 county, which should be 32 legislators.
Yeah, I got that too. I didn't send it out because I thought it was true. I don't need to know until
Yeah.
the end of November.
Yeah, sorry. But that's coming up. Second thing I would say is I don't know if we want to schedule a time at a meeting to visit with our legislators for District 18 and kind of go over our policy statements that we did from convention, or do we want to do it at a meeting? Do we want to visit offline? Was there any preference from the board?
I don't have a problem with getting all three
Yeah.
of our representatives in here, either at one time or separately or whatever, and
Yeah.
just see what they're gonna tell us to help
Yeah.
us out.
Yeah, maybe that's something we could invite and if they can make it, great. And we could just kind of let them know our financial situation. I think that'd be great.
We wanna hear it from them
Yeah,
and let the public listen to it also, so.
yeah, exactly. And with everything going on with emergency medical study counters, the summer study on property taxes, there's a lot of going on. The other thing I have is November 4th, correct, Sheriff? We're gonna invite some of the commissioners from years past, and we're gonna celebrate the fact that we are doing our final payment on the safety center. And I think that's a big, huge deal. And we're gonna do a jail tour, and then we're gonna come here and present the last check. So do you have anything you'd like to?
You won't pay that until the second meeting in November.
Yeah, we talked about it and, the only reason why we did November 4th is so some of the snowbirds might be heading out soon, so.
Because it's not due till December 1st.
Yeah, but and it's just a celebration beforehand and,
Yeah, I think it's a real positive thing to have had that jail paid off, and a lot of times we just don't appreciate how lucky we have. Look at Watertown, look at Edmonds County, look at all these counties that are paying for $40-50 million jails, and ours is gonna be paid off. That's a positive.
Do we get an interest break if we pay it early?
Nope.
Oh.
So, but, so that'll be at the next meeting. We're gonna do that. And
and then I don't know if you want to put something in the paper if, you guys are more than welcome to come over at 4:30 while we take the tour, before we come over to the commission meeting. So the previous county commissioners that approved it are invited over at 4:30. We'll take a tour and then we'll come over here at 6. So if you guys maybe want to let Patty know if you guys are going to be more than 3 or whatever.
Yeah. I think we should just probably do a quorum notice. I plan on being there and just notice it. We'll be over there prior and then we'll be good. So. That'd be November 4th. Yeah, 4:30. So. That's all I have.
I've got a couple things to report. I'd like to read some of the remarks from the Governor's Office of Economic Development group that I serve on. And I'm not going to read all of these things, but one of the things was in August 2025, South Dakota's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate remained the lowest of any state at 1.9% of the labor force. Employment in August 2025, South Dakota employed persons estimate was 483,291, up 2,339 compared to last year. For content with new states saw negative growth over the same period of time. In the 12 months ending 2025, South Dakota saw 11,586 new business applications go through GOED. Of these businesses, 3,816 are likely to have a significant payroll should they come here. Exports and imports over the last 12 months ended July 25th. The Census Bureau reports that South Dakota exported 1.9 billion worth of goods internationally and imported 1.6 billion worth of goods. the dollar terms, most South Dakota exports are agricultural products. And those are often significantly underrepresented as exported goods. This is due to the Census Bureau data having tracking issues with the point of origin for the agricultural goods. Using trade data from the Department of Agriculture to account for these issues, it's estimated the true value of South Dakota exports is $5.6 billion, with 3.8 billion in agricultural exports. Then they had some other things, but what I really want to bring up is this afternoon I was going through some emails and I had the opportunity to look at one that was I think it's very important that the people of Yankton County know and understand what some of the issues are surrounding our financial situation. And this is about, the report was about the ethanol plant and the aviation fuel plant that was planned to be developed in up by DeSmet. And the CEO moved the location from South Dakota to North Dakota, and his comment was, South Dakota is a tough place to do business. But 6 or 8 months ago, we were ranked 5th in the states as good place to do business. Now we're 38th. And the cost to Dual County, or the county that this was going to be in, I believe in the report it said it was over $2 billion over a short period of time, which was a significant loss. $2 million, I said billion, I'm sorry, $2 million, which is a significant loss. And the thing is, it was all about the CO2 pipeline, according to this article that I read. And the CO2 pipeline was denied, and the governor signed a bill denying it. And lots of people voted against it. And but the fact is, that's a tremendous opportunity for economic development in our county. And when we're sitting looking at a shortfall in our budget of what we are, we need not to have these kind of things happen, in my opinion. It's just people that are interested in coming to the state probably read some of the same stuff, and they aren't going to. Why would you come?
There's the same issue up north also with a data center that is proposed to be built there, which was going to generate $1.1 million annually to the county where it's supposedly going to be built in, and we're not giving tax credits. We're the only one of 2 states in the union that don't give the sales tax credit on electronic parts, which means that data centers is half of their expenses are electronic parts. And if we're not allowing them to get a sales tax break on them, they're not coming to South Dakota.
And it's millions.
And that's millions of dollars, $100 million in property taxes for the county up north. $100 million to Yankton County would be, we wouldn't have to worry about property taxes in Yankton County if we had a data center built in Yankton County. So just some issues like Don mentioned. There's people out there in the state of South Dakota that say that economic development is is saving tax dollars and putting their own tax dollars back in their own pockets. But in all reality, if we don't do anything at all with economic development, and of course, big businesses, they come to South Dakota and expecting some tax breaks. And if we don't take a look at the benefits of those, giving them the tax breaks to move in here, and one of the benefits is property taxes. They're going to pay property taxes when that building is done. And the only way we can cut property taxes is by some bills that are put out there, and there's a bill out there that's going to eliminate property taxes in the state of South Dakota. Well, what's going to replace the funding for Yankton County and the other 65 counties in the state? So
Motion to go into executive session.
Second.
got a motion by Dan, second by Wanda to move into executive session. All in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
time I'm just caustic.
Sometimes, isn't that most of the time?
Attorney, side that. Oh, sweet.
Motion to go back into regular session.
Second.
Motion by Dan, second by Don to move back into regular session. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
No action was taken during executive session. And nothing was done on poor relief or personnel.
Good to go?
Moves
Motion to adjourn.
second.
Motion by Dan, second by Wanda to adjourn. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned.
So, I know it's early, but